Our next guest is Dal LaMagna, and Dal is one of those guys who's done so much. He's an entrepreneur and has done very, very well, apparently, based on one of his books. I think the book is literally called, well, he'll tell you what the title is, but he's knocked around as an entrepreneur before he finally found that thing that put him over the top. But now he's really turning his attention to making a difference in building a movement. So, Dal LaMagna, welcome to Rebel Headquarters.
Hey, Mark. It's LaMagna rhymes with the lasagna.
Oh, okay. Is that okay? So it's
this is the book Raising Eyebrows, where basically I'm telling people, hey, there you go. Telling people you don't have to work for Big Brother. You could start your own business. But that's what we're not here to talk about. We're here to talk about money.
That's right.
Big money. Big money.
I guess I referenced the book only because I think you kind of talked about and referenced in your own life that, the money that you came to, you had to work around to find and sort of make happen. And now, and similarly, you want to get the big money out of the political game. That, of course, is sort of at the essence of what we do here at TYT. So please let us know and share with the audience this very inventive way you have to sort of bring a spotlight to this issue.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what's happened, really. What's happened is the rich people have built this dam. Money is like water. It flows through the system. That's what money is doing. But when you have this big dam and they all holding the money back, people are dying of thirst everywhere throughout the world. But in America, it's particularly obscene because our politicians are part of the problem. And why are they part of the problem? Because mostly our millionaires and billionaires who now have taken hold of our political system.
You just said something I thought is powerful. I was just reading a breakdown about what it takes to get public office, the kind of funds you need even personally to sustain your life during your role as a candidate for public office. It essentially eliminates someone who's unable to take time away from work.
Yeah, there was a law that was passed by the Supreme Court called Buckley versus Falea, which allowed people to spend as much money as they had on their election. It used to be you can only spend $2,500 or donate $2,500. What we got was millionaires ran for Congress. Most of our members of Congress were millionaires, bottom line. It got worse because then the Supreme Court announced that corporations are people, and they could spend unlimited amounts of money on our system. That was called Citizens United Against the FEC, the Federal Election Commission. So, I talk about this dam. If the people who built it don't wake up and start lowering it and let money flow over it, it may be blown up, and it'll be blown up by us, all us people who want to do something about it. And we want to start with our politicians and get them on our side rather than on the money side. So this is where we're headed with this movement that actually Ben Cohen, the ice cream guy, he started it, and a bunch of us got together with him.
That's Ben from Ben and Jerry's.
Exactly. So what it is we're doing is we're stamping money with an army of stampers. That means everybody can now do something. They could stamp their money with messages like, stamp money out of politics, or corporations are not people, they're which is what they've convinced us. So the money gets stamped, and this dollar bill will travel to 875 people before it disappears.
I saw that statistic. I thought that was great that it had been broken down to that point. You're saying that currency is seen and changes hands 875 times.
It's just so, poetic justice that we're actually using the money that we're not getting, most of us. I'm getting it, but most people aren't. Using the money to get the message out. It's legal, by the way. People say, oh, you can't stamp money. Yes, you can, as long as it's not a commercial message. So people see the stamp on it, they talk about it. We have 5,000, this Monday we have this event happening. The Stamp Stampede is leading a coalition of 19 organizations to get stampers out to stamp money. You go to stampstampede.org/pledge. Go there and join us. Join the movement.
So again, this will be on the 21st. That's the real apex of this movement.
Yes, and the members of Congress, believe it, the new Congress is 16. It's a bipartisan movement. There are 4 members of Congress, 3 Democrats, 1 Republican, who have actually put up a bill to change, make an amendment to overthrow basically Citizens United and get money out of politics, get big money out of politics. It really is annoying when you think about Who are we talking about running for office? Billionaires. I mean, Bloomberg, a billionaire. This guy Steyer, Tom Steyer, billionaire. If I was a billionaire, I'd run. What the hell? I'd spend $100 million to take another billionaire out. But we don't want billionaires and millionaires basically running our government. We want the likes of, this new movement of people, these movement of women who've come into Congress who are progressive, who understand that the government represents the people, and it's the government's responsibility to move that damn money over the dam.
Well, the progressive arm of the Democratic Party and those progressive women to whom you allude, I think, do represent a real possibility, a real potential. But you also mentioned that we don't want millionaires and billionaires, but I agree with you. I don't think we should want millionaires and billionaires, but we deify millionaires and billionaires in this culture. We deify the rich. We all want our piece. The self-help books, the how you can get rich quick. Money is the religion of America, and so I think we end up with these rich guys. At least in the case of a Trump, who sort of built this image as a successful businessman, even though we know it's a total fraud. I think on some level we embrace this. It's a problem in the culture.
We've been hypnotized. We've been propagandized to think that people with money are smart, and there are a lot of people with money are okay. I mean, my friends who have money, they're okay. They're progressive. They want to share. I mean, in my case, when I sold my company, 20% of what I made went to my employees. There are ways you could do this, but to hold on to the money and just basically, trickle down. What do you trickle down? That's a joke. People need to wake up. That's all. They need to wake up to realize that they're slaves to a system that doesn't reward them properly. Healthcare, we should have healthcare. I mean, that should be paid for our government. Why are we spending $1 trillion on defense? I mean, when we can't even defend ourselves against the online hackers. It's just remarkable how much money we're spending. That money we spend on healthcare, well, we should defend ourselves against sickness, and we should defend ourselves against poverty and starvation, and take that money take our army back from all over the world and put it to work in America, rebuilding our bridges and our airports and our infrastructure. It's just amazing. And it doesn't take much. It just takes a lot of people waking up. And I'm very excited about what's happening, because the artists, you listen, the people who have reach. I went to a concert with the Talking Heads guy, and he was talking about, he stopped the concert and told everybody, hey, you got to go vote. 70% of the people aren't voting. I mean, so at least
even that younger demographic that we look at, they need to represent in a bigger way in the next election. But of course, everything you say makes perfect sense. I'm wondering if this stamp program that we've talked about, it's at stampstampede.org/pledge. When you go to that website, what do you get? In other words, how do I stamp my money so it looks like the money you're talking about?
You'll pick up a stamp which you buy, I think at our cost, and here it is. This is what the stamp looks like. It's just a stamp, and then you stamp your money. It's just it's like, here's another one. There's another one that pops out, and you go out and get a bunch of $100 bills. Dollar bills. Use dollar bills. Yeah. I give away, my thing is that anytime I walk by someone who's in the subway, a homeless person, I give them $1. I mean, their luck, right? People say, "Oh, what are you giving him $1? He should give me a break. He needs the dollar, or she needs the dollar." But I stamp the dollar with the message. It's just so we just got to wake people up that they can do something.
Yeah, and the point is that, look, long after the 21st, and long after you get that stamp, you can continue to stamp and can continue to get the money with that message out there. And it's sort of a grassroots thing that could birth a lot of other things. As you say, there's so many tentacles to this problem.
Right. I mean, people always say, well, what can I do? Well, here's something you can do. But it also gets you into that mindset. Wake up and check out what's going on in your community. See who's coming together to do things to make a change. The political movement of our time. Happily, the internet allows people to raise money now to run for office. That woman, Ocasio, She basically got all her money online, and she didn't have to spend that much to beat a guy who is, fourth in line for the Democrats. People who win. I'm very excited about 2020. I think that the dam is about to break. It's just wow. Could you imagine? For the rich people, they don't want it to break so suddenly. They need to wake up themselves and start looking for ways to share their wealth. That's not just talking about it.
Well, that process has not begun, but I hope, as you say, that there is going to be enough noise made by efforts like yours, and you mentioned the sort of new congressional presence that does reflect what you're talking about. That that a difference can be made. Again, the website is stampede.org. Go there. And make a difference. Dal, what a pleasure to meet you, and thanks for being a clear voice. For
and go to raisingeyebrows.com and get my book.
There it is. We've got it on screen now. Raisingeyebrows.com. It's only $10.
Yeah, this book will teach you how to. It's a funny story about how I was Tweezer-Man. I made a fortune, but I failed at a lot of things before I got to Tweezer-Man. And you don't have to go work for the big corporations. You can start your own business, and this book helps you do it.
I guess that's what I was saying at the introduction at the beginning of this segment, is that, one of the things that you talk about is sort of how you knocked around until you found this thing. And at least you're a good guy who did well. It's so great to talk to you, Dal.
I tell people, don't fear failure. Fear success, because when you succeed, then that's the life you're going to be stuck with. But
good luck. Come visit us again. Thank you, Dal.
Great. Thanks for having us.
All right. Nice to have Dal LaMagna with us on Rebel Headquarters.
Thanks for watching this free clip of Rebel Headquarters. Don't forget to become a TYT member today for more exclusive content. Join now at tyt.com/join.